Jack Birch, with the shooting facilities up on the hill, had offered facilities to the FBI. The FBI says, well, no, we don't go into public places. But he was going to set aside, he's got the property, he's got the facilities, he's got the staff. He was going to set aside an area that the FBI could have used exclusively. I don't know the details. So maybe I'm talking out of turn, but I do think that that could have been explored more thoroughly and possibly a deal could have been worked out. Long term, it would have been bad if we would put it next to the city landfill, because eventually the city would have had to take it over, and it would be another tax burden on the taxpayers.
As you're going out and campaigning, what kind of feedback are you getting from people on what they want the city to address?
Water preservation, reduction in taxes. Nobody's asking for additional services. There's been a lot of questions asked about the convention center. There's been some questions asked about the completion of the pavilion. We've all heard about the former Texas Rangers Foundation leaving town, and I'm sort of in the middle on that. I'm not so sure it's all the city council or city staff or all the Texas Rangers. I think somewhere there in between the former Texas Rangers and the city missed the boat. The downtown pavilion was originally started, I think, in 2004. Estimated cost to be right at $1 million. They raised $300,000. That's what they're working with now to complete phase one. The original estimate that they got fell far short of what they really need. So that's up in the air. Will it be finished? Will it operate properly? Will the city take it over? Will they manage it? Will they keep the riverfront clean? Are there proper restroom facilities available? Things like that. People talking about tourism in connection with the convention center. Sue Burdette, her figures estimate that the city could gain $13 million in expenditures and revenues through a tourist and convention center, providing a hotel that's connected to it. Now, in this morning's paper, I think it was the Hill Country Journal, the Chase Group has put out a bid, and they're proposing building such a facility off of Sidney Baker and I-10, which I think at first blush, and again, I don't have any of the details on any of the other locations, I think that that would be the place. Now, there's a lot of talk about, well, we want everything to be downtown. But downtown, you've got 2 blocks that run along Water Street, and then you run into Notre Dame Church and the school. And I don't think an additional 300 cars in that area would be a wise decision. But I do think the convention center could be profitable to the city. It could bring revenue in. What connection the city would have to play with it and how they would have to perform, I don't know. That's some of the city politics that would have to be explored.
What about the role of being on the city council? What do you think that role involves? And then also in working with the city staff? Is it delegating? Is it hands-on? Is it consulting? What are your views?
Well, it's definitely not micromanaging. The city staff is a group of people who should be professionals, and they should be capable of performing their jobs. I think the city council should get input from the voters, from the residents, and then weigh that input, make decisions, pass it on to the city manager, and let the city run its business.
How would you rate our current city staff?
The city staff, I'm not very familiar with. The city council, not very high. They have shown me tendencies of arrogance. They don't seem to want to listen to the people. They don't work with them. They have seemingly an agenda that leads them in one direction, tunnel vision. I'm just not happy with some of them. Not all of them, but some of them have set me into this position, really.
So if you're elected to the council, how do you see yourself standing out from the other members of the council?
Well, the other members of the council, do you mean the ones that I'm running against and placed for?
No, for the ones that would be there.
The ones that would be there? Well, it depends. We're looking at the possibility of a very, very new council. We'll have a new mayor. The race between Mr. Gross and Mr. Kerrville and Ms. Motorset has to be decided. Stacy Kerrville will remain. Motherall will remain. But Colvin is gone, so there'll be someone new there. How those other people fit in, I don't know. I can't say that I'm better or worse than any of them, especially the new people that are possibly going to be serving the city.
Have there been any particular decisions that you've watched the council make that you particularly disagree with?
Well, I don't understand. The latest big issue is the ETJ. 681 people have opted out of that. They don't want any part of the city running their water lines, their utilities, their electricity. There are something, I don't know, I'm thinking 54, 57 left. A couple of them came in late asking to opt out. And the city council got pretty arrogant with them. One of them says, what are you doing coming into our office? You have the gumption to come in here and ask, well, who's he going to go see, his barber? No, that's not the way you treat the citizens. You listen to what they have to say, and if you disagree with them, you give them reasoning why you disagree. Mr. Gross says, oh, well, I'm completely surprised that they didn't accept our proposal. Mr. Motherall is hell-bent on getting that extra territorial jurisdiction. I personally see it as them thinking it's going to be an increased tax revenue, but it's not. It's going to cost the city money in the long run because whatever services you put out there, you have to include everything that is available within the city.
Do you think that the city right now does a poor job with communicating with the public, getting their information out?
Yes. They have been talking about this downtown development for months. They have been saying the city's going to explode. Mr. Gross is running on the platform that I want to go for the third term because I started a lot of this and I want to finish it. I want to see it happen. Well, how about letting the rest of us know what's going to happen? Giving us the opportunity for some input and maybe some help and benefit to the city.